The 19th presidential election was held on November 6, 1860. This election consisted of 4 parties. These parties were the Republican, Southern Democratic, Constitutional Union, and Northern Democratic parties. The Republican Party was unsure of who to vote for since a good number of people running were former Democrats. After the 1858 Lincoln-Douglas debates, Abraham Lincoln became a popular figure within the Republican Party. As the delegates could not make up their minds if they should either choose Seward or Lincoln as their nominees, they eventually chose former representative from Illinois' 7th District, Abraham Lincoln, as their presidential candidate, and former Maine Senator Hannibal Hamlin as their vice presidential candidate. The Northern Democratic Party chose Illinois Senator Stephen A. Douglas as their presidential candidate, and Georgia Senator Herschel V. Johnson as their presidential or vice presidential candidate. Some Democrats believed that Douglas was too moderate on slavery and decided to form an independent Southern faction of the Democratic Party. The Southern Democrats chose Vice President John C. Breckinridge as their presidential candidate and Oregon Senator Joseph Lane as their vice presidential candidate. The Constitutional Union Party was made up of former American and Whig Party supporters who did not want to vote Republican or Democratic. They chose former Tennessee Senator John Bell as their presidential candidate and former Massachusetts Senator Edward Everett as their vice presidential candidate. This election was 100% about the topic of slavery. Due to the split between the Northern and Southern Democrats, Lincoln was able to win the election. He won 39.82% of the popular vote and 59.41% of the electoral vote. This was the worst any winning candidate had performed in the popular vote. The electoral vote performance was a slight improvement from the prior election. This was at the time, and still is as of September 15th, 2024, the most polarizing election in American history. But it's not just because the winning candidate only got 1/3 of the popular vote, but because of what happened after the election. Due to Lincoln winning the presidency between December 20th, 1860 to February 1st, 1861, the Southern Democrats lived up to their threats that they threatened.